Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO, and this is going to be my first bit of gameplay in the WZ-111 5A, the new Tier 10 Chinese heavy tank. Um, so, the reason this is going to be my first gameplay video in this tank is because, well, World of Tanks kind of crapped itself. Um, I clicked, I was actually doing a live recording in this here, and I was about to jump into another game, but as soon as I clicked battle, it froze and kicked me out of the game. And then I was able to log back in, but it logged me back in the random battle queue. And whenever I hit exit battle or exit the battle queue, it came up saying error, and then it would crash the game. And every time I've tried to log in since, it's just logged me into the random battle queue, and I can't do anything. I can literally do nothing. So, yeah, this is unfortunately is going to be probably the only bit of gameplay I'm going to be able to get up for this thing over the weekend because because I have to work all weekend. So yeah, this is going to be the first big gameplay I'm going to have for this tank, but hopefully I'll be able to get a little more next week. Because unfortunately, I can't just make a second account or anything like that there and jump into it. I don't have a second account, and it has to be registered before a certain date. So you can't just make an account and then jump straight in. It's a little annoying, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm basically locked out of the test server for now. I'll probably make a second account on the NAS server or something with a different email address. So right, so the WZ-111 what all do you need to know about it? It has 140mm upper front plate, 155mm lower front plate, 210mm cupola here, 180mm cupola here, and a 300mm front turret armor layout. The side armor seems to be exactly the same as the Tier 9, so it is a rear armor. The turret is the main difference, but there is, as I mentioned, some differences with the frontal armor. But the primary difference you're going to notice is the turret. So armor doesn't seem to hold up particularly well on the test server because well, it's the test server and literally everybody's playing the highest paying guns they possibly can with premium rounds and nothing but premium rounds. But I'm doing my standard things and testing them out as if I was playing it on the live server. So one thing I do need to mention is the gun handling on this tank is on another level. It's pretty much next level gun handling wise. Like, it destroys the IS-7 in terms of gun handling. It's like, I think the comparison is like this thing using a rammer, vertical stabilizer, and vents. It has like a 2.3 second aiming time, whereas the IS-7 using gun lane drive has like a 2.7 second aiming time. So it annihilates the IS-7 in that respect. And with my crew, my setup, which was rammer, vertical stabilizer, and vents, along with brothers in arms, I had like a 9.25 second reload time on this tank with a 490 alpha damage gun. So yeah, that's a pretty damn amazing reload time for a 490 alpha gun. Plus, it has 7 degrees gun suppression, so my prediction was right in the way that I guessed that it wouldn't make it to the live server. And I've just noticed something there. What the hell is that, like a wire thing hanging over the front? That's a little weird, huh? I've never noticed that wire before. Okay, so I was right in my prediction saying that the 10 degrees gun depression that was originally released in the server test would make it to the live server, but still made it to the live server with 7 degrees of gun depression. And when I saw the gun handling, I initially thought this thing must have like minus 3 degrees of gun depression or something like that there to balance it out. But no, it has better than that. It has 7 degrees, which is better than the Tier 9. And it also feels pretty damn good mobility wise. It has the way to think of this thing is it's basically the T10 in the Chinese tree, but with a way superior turret. Well, other than the weak points on the top in the form of the cupolas. And as you can see, it's able to pretty decently keep up speed. Like, I mean, you saw it driving up a hill there like about 20 seconds ago, and it's holding the speed pretty well. And going downhill, it's easily able to hit the 50km/h top speed. And this thing is, like, in my opinion, is like the gun handling. Like, I did fire on the move going at like 45km/h, so it was kind of expected that that completely missed. But the gun handling on this thing is a lot better than you may have expected. And there is one thing that I think is maybe potentially another bug on the test server is whenever you're aiming at a tank like side armor or something, sometimes it'll come up with a blue penetration indicator instead of instead of a green whenever using colorblind mode, of course. So that has kind of gotten me killed a couple of times. Like I played 4 games total in this thing, and the first game it got me killed because I was aiming at the front in IS-7. It was giving me a blue penetration indicator. I was like, what the hell's wrong with this? Surely this gun has 250 pen. Surely you'd be able to play on the lower plate of an IS-7. But it was giving me a blue penetration indicator, so I hesitated, and got me killed because of it, because I got nailed by a 183. And then there was a 1390 that appeared behind me and nailed me as well. So yeah, there wasn't really much I could do in that situation there. But so far, I haven't really done particularly much in this game. I've done like 1,000 damage, make that 1,400 damage. But so far, from my experience with this thing, the gun handling is very, very nice. It has a very powerful gun. As you can see, 250 pen is pretty damn solid. The armor is decent, but versus premium rounds on the wow, that guy, I forgot about that moment. That guy nearly got himself shot in the side, and if he's a Russian player, is he? Let's look at the E50M. He is, yes. And this guy just seems to be messing with me now. And yeah, the enemy 5A is actually firing premium rounds, and something I should just point out: this thing does have 6mm more standard penetration than the standard WZ-111 1.4, and it looks like maybe a little bit more premium penetration. I guess 340. I think the standard one is 320, but the chances are I may be thinking of the wrong tank. But as you can see there's a mouse, and I immediately just got nope out of that because he's side scraping, and that will not aim well for me. But the side armor on this thing is pretty much exactly the same as the tier 9, so you're able to pen it with no issues whatsoever, especially at that kind of angle. And I almost go for the shot here, but then I realized I would have hit the 50M in the lower plate and would have taken damage to them there. And you know what Russians are like on test server. Russians will almost immediately team kill you if you do any team damage to them whatsoever, even if it was like 5 team damage from like ramming or something. They have like no tolerance for it, even though they do it all the time. I don't know, Russian logic. So now I just use my mobility just to completely outmaneuver this Jagdpanzer E100, and the side degree gun depression really helps in this kind of situation here, where you're just able to easily outmaneuver someone, and this is going to hurt a lot. He did use a heat round. I actually kind of kept my tank angled at about 45 degrees to try and potentially get him to shoot my spaced armor or my track armor, try and like absorb the hit, but then he shoots me in the side and pins me again with a heat round. So I've done 3,600 damage at this point, and the 5A in front of me, he fires his gun and I immediately decided to like, move forward, try and get a shot into his front armor to try and kill him off. And see how that would give me a yellow penetration indicator? There's no way the sloping on this gun, or there's no way that 155 millimeters of lower plate armor should possibly be giving you a yellow penetration indicator on this tank, with a 250 pen gun. That seems, there might be a little bit of a glitch with the actual armor penetration indicators on this here, because it doesn't take into account angling, so it should be theoretically giving me a yellow, or it should be giving me a green penetration indicator whenever I'm mousing over with that. But as I said, that's probably some form of like glitch or something. And here I didn't even notice this guy coming, and he just surprised motherfucking me and just killed me. So yeah. And that was the end of my game, but that was a pretty solid game. I feel like it kind of shows you what this tank is going to be like. It's going to be quick. It's going to have a really, really solid gun. It has really strong turret, although I didn't really get a chance to really show that off too much. The front armor is decent. The side armor isn't particularly good, but it will bounce the occasional shot because, well, providing you angle correctly. And let's see. I think at this point, yep, I did do that. I'm like looking through my team just looking to see like what the other guys on my team are doing. TC2S kind of sitting back here. He's going to try and finish off this Mouse here now. So the Mouse on the enemy team could still win this here, but yeah, and just continue like between this guy. And I think this guy may have forgotten to take a repair kit because, well, he's ammo racked. He does stay ammo racked for quite a decent amount of time, and he's waiting for somebody else to spot in the Mouse so that he can move forward. He doesn't want to die, which makes a lot of sense. This guy's he's got some sense in like in terms of like the way he's playing. And my team's actually going to handle this really, really well. They're going to surround this guy and nail him by doing that there. So one thing I do want to mention is I don't have the result screens for this game because, well, the game crashed immediately after the after I joined a game after this battle. So unfortunately I couldn't take any result screenshots because usually I take the screenshots after I'm finished recording. But because the game crashed and it won't let me back in, I don't have screenshots, but I can tell you it was like 1050 base XP, which was a second class mastery. Like it was like 3800 damage, and I came like third in the team in XP and fourth on damage. The STRV 103B got the highest damage. One of the 5As got the second highest damage, and I think it was maybe the T62 I got the third highest damage, and I came fourth on damage. So like, and that's actually something I forgot to mention. Now that I'm actually looking at the mouse it actually has like a, I think it has like a 9.9 second reload time with the 128mm gun that thing has. That thing has the exact same alpha damage as the 5A's 130mm gun. But if you think about it, the 5A out reloads the mouse by at least half a second. When both of them have brothers in arms, events, and rammer equipped. So that's kind of amazing if you think about it. I mean, over 3100 DPM on a heavy tank that can do 50 kilometers an hour has pretty decent front armor. It's going to be pretty effective versus lower tiered and some equal tiered vehicles. And it's also going to have a pretty damn strong turret, especially if you're using a gun depression, where people are really going to struggle to be able to hit your weak points consistently. But yeah, I think this thing is going to be very, very powerful if it's released in the state. I suspect a couple of nerfs may hit it before it's fully released, because well, we saw that with the light tanks where they were pretty much perfectly balanced. Like this thing here is probably just a little bit too good. I think they may do some nerfs to maybe the gun handling. The gun handling seems like the most logical thing to do because well, Chinese aren't exactly known for gun handling, so it's kind of bizarre that this thing suddenly has like godlike gun handling. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what they do with this thing. I was actually looking to jump into the 121 to see how that thing plays with 5 degrees of gun depression, but unfortunately I can't because the test server has pretty much locked me out. So yeah, so this is pretty much all the gameplay I'm going to be able to get you for now on the test server. But hopefully it's like giving you a good idea of like how the tank is going to roughly play. Like it's going to be decently quick. It's going to have decent. It's going to have a very strong turret. Its turret's not going to be quite as strong as the IS-7. Actually, think of the IS-7. The 5A demolishes the IS-7 in terms of the gun stats and all. If you look on Tanks GG and you change the patch to 9.19.1 public test, the public test the current public test version of the 5A in comparison to the IS-7, holy crap, you would think there were different tiers. You really would. Like, because the gun handling is just on another level, and the aiming time difference is immense, and the speed difference. I strongly suspect the 5A is more or less like is going to be pretty consistently quicker than the IS-7. Even the IS-7 technically has about top speed, but the IS-7 gets so wrecked by its soft stats that I think the 5A overall is going to be the more mobile vehicle typically. And yeah, this thing is pretty much what you would expect. It's the 1.4, but just improved in pretty much every aspect. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really solid tank if it's released in this form. I don't expect it to be released in this form as of what happened with the light tanks. But then again, things like the mouse made it through, so who knows. So yeah, that's my rough gameplay sample of the 5A. I'm hoping to be able to get some more gameplay of this thing and show you a bit more of how it plays and how it feels to like drive and all. So yeah, as of right now, from the brief amount I've actually played it, I think this thing is going to be a very, very, very good tank to play at tier 10. And I think this thing could become pretty common in Clan Wars as well, especially considering the strength of the turret, with how good the premium round is and things like that. So yeah. So let me know, have you gotten into the test server? Have you got locked out of the test server like me? And let me know what your general opinions are of this vehicle. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's overpowered? Or just like, what's your general thoughts? Do you think it's balanced? Do you think it's not? Pretty much. So I would say if it was me balancing this vehicle, I would perhaps nerf the front turret a little bit down to like say 280, even though it effectively does nothing, because nobody's going to ever shoot the front turret in neither the 1.4 or the 5A. I would say maybe nerf the cupolas down a little bit, maybe make them both 190, so buff one, nerf the other by 190 on each one. Make the lower plates by 150 instead of being 155. Upper plate I would leave the same, and then the side armor is for the most part pretty well balanced. But I would say that like the main thing I would say is potentially increase the mobility just a little bit more, and maybe nerf the gun handling just a tad. Like I think this thing is pretty well balanced for the most part, but could be a couple of changes made. So yeah, um, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.